Visited Arizona yesterday to monitor the recent influx of unaccompanied children crossing the southwest border. And here with us now to weigh in on the situation from Capitol Hill, Democratic Representative from Texas, Congressman Castro.
Congressman, always great to have you here. What's the latest situation? We hear immigration reform dead in the House this session. But what's going to happen with these young children that seem to be trapped?
Well, the first thing with immigration reform, I was somebody who last year thought that we would get it done. I think many people believe we should have gotten it done already, but it is going to be very difficult. If you look at the calendar, we're only in session 26 days the last 5 months of the year. So not only immigration reform, but anything like tax reform, any big bill is going to be difficult to do after July 31st. As far as the kids, if you saw those photos a few weeks ago of young children strewn out, laid out on concrete floors, sleeping at that time with no pillows or blankets, it really was something that you would see in a war zone. And so I'm glad that the administration has taken steps to make sure that the kids are better accommodated and is also working with Central America to make sure that we stem that tide of folks who are making the dangerous trek.
Yeah, but how has it changed the dynamic of the conversation at all, trying to actually get something really significant done?
Well, as you all know, there's been a lot of finger pointing. A lot of folks are blaming the president. But I blame the House of Representatives, If we had passed either the Senate version of immigration reform or the House version, there would have been billions of dollars in resources for international cooperation, for border security, more border security, and also there would have been a more clear line of delineation about what it takes to immigrate here legally. So, Congress can't push off the responsibility for passing legislation and taking action. We got to accept responsibility for that.
Congressman, do you ever strategize with your Republican governor, Rick Perry, or other top Republicans about how to change the dynamic within the House?
I talked to Rick Perry a few times, met with him a few times when I was in the Texas legislature, but I can't say that we've been best friends since then. He's been somebody who's been very much against DACA, for example, and comprehensive immigration reform. I think he felt stung during the presidential primary in 2012 when he mentioned that Texas was one of the first states to pass a version of the DREAM Act. And so since then, he's been fairly reticent on the issue, except to criticize the president.
Congressman Donnie Deutsch, I just want to shift the issue for a second, because you said something in the opening that stunned me as a tax-paying citizen, that you guys are working 26 days for the last 5 months of the year.
Right.
I'm stunned.
Oh, yeah.
Ratner and I looked at each other. Will you explain that to me?
Oh, no, Donnie, believe me, I'm stunned.
That's twice as long as Donnie works.
Oh, that's right.
Here.
No, he's freaked out by that.
And Donnie gets paid more.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's one thing about the House of Representatives and the Senate, as Joe remembers, the schedule is published before the next year. So in November, the schedule for 2014 was published last November, and I looked at it and I saw that we're only in session 103 days this year, 26 days the last 5 months of the year. Surely we owe the American people more work than that.
All right, Congressman Castro, thank you so much for being on the show.
I think most Americans would agree with the congressman.
I think so.
We deserve more. We deserve better.
Still ahead, nearly